White-clad fans are a hallmark of Jets home games. Winnipeg's hockey scene has been described as Halloween meets Mardi Gras in a blizzard in January. CreditJohn Woods / the Canadian Press, via Associated Press May 19, 2018 Toronto. Of course this would happen to Winnipeg. For once, Manitoba is Canada's hockey epicenter. The Winnipeg Jets have turned the city upside down with their bid to capture the country's first Stanley Cup since the Montreal Canadiens won 25 years ago. But it is perhaps the sad fate of that overlooked, underdog Prairie City that while it is enjoying the biggest moment in its hockey history, an expansion franchise from the American desert, the Vegas Golden Knights, is the talk of the hockey world, even in Canada. Sports talk radio in Toronto, Canada's largest city, often leads with the Golden Knights or the Toronto Blue Jays. In the past 30 days, Google searches for the Blue Jays across Canada outpaced searches for the Jets. And after a rousing home win in Game 1, the Jets are having trouble finding an answer to the Golden Knights in the Western Conference Finals, which resume on Sunday with Game 5 in Winnipeg and Vegas holding a 3-1 series lead. Winnipeg is no stranger to doubters, pain or loss. When the Jets left in the mid-1990s for Arizona, their departure compounded the grim outlook for the city. The NHL returned to Winnipeg in 2011 when the Thrashers moved from Atlanta. It was really a kick in the gut, Mayor Brian Bowman said. At the same time, the city was losing residents to cities like Toronto, Calgary, and Vancouver. Then, in 1997, Winnipeg was struck by the worst flood in a century, and it scarred the psyche of its citizens. Winnipeggers need a thick skin. People across the country like to poke fun at their city's punishing winters, which have been fertile ground for jabs like this one. If you have more miles on your snowblower than your car, you may live in Winnipeg. In early January, the Winterpeg put-downs got national attention when a few San Jose Sharks were asked which NHL city was the worst to play in. Defenseman Justin Braun said, "Winnipeg. Dark, cold, internet a little questionable. Internet doesn't work ever. I don't know if they have Wi-Fi there yet." Like a father whose kids had been bullied, Jets coach Paul Maurice put everything in perspective. "That happens in Canada, occasionally," he told reporters, "pretty regularly every winter. It's dark at night. Yeah, that happens pretty much around the world." Maurice added, "I don't think any coach, any player, trainer, referee should ever complain about a day in the National Hockey League. We got a sold-out building, pretty sure that goes into hockey-related revenue and everybody cashes their check." As the smallest market in the NHL, Winnipeg cannot claim the natural beauty of Vancouver, the cowboy cool of Calgary, the vibrancy and prestige of Toronto or the French charm of Montreal. Winnipeg's claim to fame is that it is a key railway and transportation hub connecting the eastern and western parts of the country. Some of the city's expatriates in Toronto are starting to learn about Motel Bar, a 40-seat tavern called Little Winnipeg because it shows nothing but Jets games. Daniel Greaves, a Winnipeg native and the lead singer of the band The Watchmen, opened the bar in 2011 to showcase live music. The Jets returned to Winnipeg 2 months later, and he started putting on their games, though the bar has only one TV and a couple of projection screens. First, hockey fans would pop in and ask to watch the Maple Leafs game, to which Greaves replied, "Okay, I'll put a Leafs game on when they're playing the Jets, so twice a year it's a great spot for Leafs fans." Image Connor Hellebuck and the Jets have been overshadowed, even in Canada, by the Vegas Golden Knights. Credit Ethan Miller / Getty Images. Drew Gordy, another Winnipeg native, came for Game 3 against the Golden Knights because his Toronto neighbors showed no interest in the Jets. "I want to be here with my people," he said. Michał Grajewski has been there from the beginning, earning him a reserved seat at the bar and the title mayor of Little Winnipeg. "This bar is like the city of Winnipeg," he said. "It's the best-kept secret that's been hiding in plain sight. Like Winnipeg has a great arts scene and a great music scene. It's there for all to see, but for the longest time Winnipeg was one of those places you flew over to get somewhere else." In Winnipeg, the intensity over the Jets is fueled by the whiteout, with fans clad all in white along with face paint, costumes and wigs. What began as a marketing gimmick in 1987 has turned into a unifying force for the city. Bowman, the mayor, describes the festive, gritty street parties as Halloween meets Mardi Gras in a blizzard in January. "I can't think of anything that surpasses this in my lifetime," Bowman, 46, said of the buzz going around town. While people joke about Winnipeg's winters, the city is strong enough that it can laugh at itself. "We're the only city where you can enjoy the best whiteout in the rink and then also on the drive home from the game," Bowman said. This season, the Jets began using the tagline "Rise Together," which has come to symbolize something bigger than the team. Since 2013, Winnipeg's population has jumped to 750,000 from 698,000, and the city is promoting itself as a four-season destination. The success of the Jets is changing people's perception of their own city. No longer a small town, Winnipeg sees itself as a major player. That has led to a newfound confidence and swagger in the city, Bowman said, and the Jets are taking this to a